You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Falling Skies After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Falling Skies After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another episode of Falling Skies, Season 2, Episode 6, Homecoming. I am Tamara Berg. I'm joined in the studio by Sofia.
Hi, I'm Sofia Stanley.
We've got Steve Bottomley.
Hello, everybody.
And Derrial.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
And we have an amazing special guest in studio with us. We have Brandon Jay McLaren, who plays Jamil on Falling Skies. Yay! We're so excited that you're here with us. Thanks for being with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Quickly, first thing I just want to say, renewed for Season 3, right?
That's right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, I know. Aren't you so happy?
Very exciting. Yeah, I'm very happy for
Very
everybody.
exciting. Okay, so let's get into it. We've got a lot going on with this episode. This was a nail biter, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
Berserko.
Holy
That's
smokes.
my
It was.
word. It's
I like
Berserko.
that.
Good one. Let's start off talking about Weaver and the serious blood condition that he had. Another thing that we're appreciating about this show having a bigger budget this season is that the special effects and the makeup are really amazing, and that was creepy and scary. And your thoughts, kids?
Well, I mean, it made me jump back to last recap show when we were talking about why the storyline, Stevie brought up why that storyline was still playing itself out. And obviously, we know why it was playing itself out, because there's alien toxins trying to take over him. So it was intense. And for a minute, I was like, oh, no, he's done for. Like, I thought that this was the pivotal moment where he was going to die and Tom was officially going to take over.
Yeah, when they introduced it, I was thinking, okay, there's our ticking time bomb. Here we go.
Right,
now,
exactly.
Now they have to race against this issue, and I was a little surprised when it turned out that no, he's going to be okay. You know, and I was kind of like going, well, where's that energy go now? I mean, here's the thing, like, we got to get him out. You know, and without that, well, they've replaced it with other things, but you know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, what are you going to do? So I was just kind of surprised that it just, ended.
That the Weaver being in jeopardy didn't last for more episodes. Than
Yeah,
just one episode?
or
Yeah.
that they weren't forced with a real decision of, oh my God, what.
Oh, the power struggle and.
The other thing that I was really curious to see is, if you remember a couple of episodes ago, Weaver was talking to Tom about, are you going to have the courage to pull the trigger?
Right.
Exactly.
And, you're all thinking he's talking about Ben, but I was thinking he might be talking about himself because he knew he got bit. So I thought that, okay, maybe it was going into a thing where, Tom's going to be forced to, like, make a decision, like, if he doesn't get better, we're going to have to kill him. Something like that, where they're going to throw back to that line.
Yeah.
But, again, I concur with the special effects.
Yeah, it's good. And creepy.
I just want to know, and what an easy gig on that thing. It's like,
Yeah, that's
go into makeup and just lie there.
The biggest challenge for him was probably not falling asleep.
Exactly.
I was just
lying
happy
in
to see
bed,
him
being
back.
very comfortable,
Yeah.
right?
I was just happy to see him back.
Yeah.
Because there was a rumor that I read something from Comic-Con that there was a
Yes.
person who's supposed to be dying this season, and I was hoping that it was not going to be Weaver.
Yes.
So when this started off and he was so sick, I was like, oh man, if this cannot be his last moment on the show, because they've developed his character so much throughout this year. We've seen him be kind of like the hardcore, military
Right.
captain, to now when his daughter arrived, to even where he's more of a softer, we see more of a softer side to him. So I'm really into his character. So I'm
We
like, he
need
cannot
him.
leave. We need Weaver. We
Yeah.
need him
Wait
on
a
the
minute.
show.
Are you saying that a Graham Yost show might kill off a character you like?
I'm just saying.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Crazy.
But actually, I agree, because seriously, if Weaver goes, he's going out in a ball of fire.
Right.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got to, be saving a busload of orphans or something. So. being
A bus full of orphans.
being taken down by an infection would be really kind of anticlimactic.
It would be.
That'd
That
be
would be
pretty bad.
sad.
But
That would
I
be
was
sad.
wondering, and like I don't have a background in biology, and I'm not sure if anyone else has a background in biology, but I wonder how true to form what they were talking about
Well,
was.
they certainly made it believable. You know, they used big words that I didn't know.
Yes.
So that had like hemo something in them.
Absolutely.
So I went for it. So the solution that Lourdes and Dr. Glass came up with was basically to cook his blood. And who comes in to save the day but our special guest, who plays Jamil. So it was a great episode for you.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they they used Jamil in a lot of different situations, sort of whatever needs to be.
Yeah, he's like the
fixed.
fix-it guy, kind of.
Yeah,
the
he's like
MacGyver,
the
right?
all-purpose, 5-in-1 like kitchen utensil. You know?
He's like Professor on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Because wasn't he also instrumental in getting across the bridge when the bridge
Yeah,
was
yeah.
compromised?
And
yeah.
covering the engines with
soundproofing
the
the engines.
with
Oh,
the
right.
insulation.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever kind of needs to be done at the moment,
Just
he can.
call Jamil. He'll
Yeah.
take care of it. He'll save the day. No
Plus-
pressure or anything.
He'll
Plus,
handle
they've
it.
introduced a little bit of a love interest with your character.
Yeah, which is nice. So it kind of, you get that dichotomy of you can be the tech guy, but you also kind of get an emotional storyline as well, which is good.
Yeah, and it's Lourdes, right? That
Yeah.
your character's involved with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're the mechanic, but technically, aren't you the engineer as well? Like, you have an engineer background. That's where it
Yeah,
comes from.
yeah. Right before all the madness happened, I was starting an IPO, and then everything, kind of went haywire.
That's your backstory?
Yeah. So now I'm using my tech background to help out the second mass.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it was really important in this situation because, the whole, like you were saying, the power struggle could fall into play and the whole thing could fall apart if Weaver, dies or becomes
Yeah.
seriously incapacitated. So there was a lot of pressure on Jamil to really get it right. And I thought it was kind of funny because it was sort of like, he says at some point, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what,
Right.
what am I
Yeah.
gonna do? And then he just kind of goes, no, wait, I do. I can get this. I got
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
you guys.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
worry
Let
about
me
it."
give it a shot.
Right?
No, they've all kind of really come to depend on him to kind of just do really hard stuff.
Yep.
When need be.
And I think also too, though, I'm gonna purposely cut you off, Steve, because I like to talk. But seriously, I think that the last couple of episodes we've seen though that Weaver really treats you as his second in a way that he doesn't necessarily relay certain information to Tom.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw that with that scene where I was privy to all this information, and Tom's like, "Well, was anybody gonna tell me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had more information than his right hand, Tom. Yeah, so he's really come to depend on Jamil for a lot.
Actually, that was really close to what I was going to say anyway.
That's I think why I said
No, but you
guys are in sync.
The other thing is that your character really is a character that really doesn't seem to have any agenda except, look, what do you need done?
You know,
he's not playing any one side or the other.
Yeah.
Or I think he wants to get laid a little bit, though.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I think that's his
definitely.
agenda.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
There's nothing wrong with that because there's a little bit of going on in this episode. You
There
know,
was.
They started
clean
with it.
sheets, beds.
Yeah,
You know,
what are you
Right.
gonna do?
All the
heat,
utensils.
light.
A little morning hanky panky.
Yeah.
Little morning.
I did mention they might want to close the blinds.
Yeah.
You did say that. You did say
So-
that.
I was happy though for Andrew.
Maybe they're voyeurs. Come on, Steve.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no, I thought that was really cool that Tom and Rebecca got together,
Uh-huh.
and it adds a nice.
Anne. Rebecca's his wife.
Ooh.
Oh,
His
So
dead
you
wife.
did the same thing that Tom did. Ah.
Oh, scratch that one out, Steve.
how awkward that would have been.
Yes. Now you know. how Tom
No, but I
felt.
thought that was, it was great because they're trying to find normalcy in a crazy world.
Right.
And they admit we can't think of when it was normal.
Right.
We're all going to go crazy if we do that.
But I think it's also great because I think it also goes back to Weaver and why this scene was so pivotal because Weaver was saying, I don't care if we've been, at this hospital for 2 weeks and it's becoming normal. We're still in a state of war and we always need to be ready. And so I think that even just kind of piggybacking, that's why I think that, your character Jamil paused for a second, but then he snapped back because he's like, oh no, I'm at war. This is my job.
Yeah.
I fix things.
Yeah.
Whatever they tell
You
me to
don't
do.
have a choice. You
Right.
just got to do it. Worry about if you can, whether it works or not. Worry about that after, but you got to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Had you seen this episode yet?
No.
Okay, so you saw it with us first time.
First time.
Well, I'm curious to know what you were thinking about various things in there.
I loved it. I love the brother story.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I have a younger
Specifically
brother.
between Ben and Hal, or
Ben
all
and
three
Hal,
of them?
yeah, because I have a younger brother too, and that struggle, you know, when
Yeah.
the younger brother comes of age and you're still trying to like have that authority over him, and you're like, nah, but I can't anymore, and you know, and you know, Ben's part alien.
Yeah.
So you can't hem him up in the corner because he's alien.
He's stronger than Hal. That's
yeah,
for sure.
you know.
Yeah.
So
And you don't want to touch those spikes, really, frankly.
no,
We don't want to touch
you know,
those
and then they brought in the Karen story and the Levin. Oh, it's great.
It's complicated.
It's great.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll bet you have a browser on your computer, and I'll bet somewhere on the toolbar there's a button that says Amazon because it's easier. Just keep that button. Here's what I'm requesting. Do us all a favor, and right now change that Amazon button to AfterBuzzTV.com.
Yeah.
That way, you're still going to get to Amazon, but instead of going, I just want to go, and you don't have to remember it's AfterBuzz TV, just change that button now and go to AfterBuzzTV.com. Then go to Amazon in the upper corner and do all your shopping. We get a little bit from Amazon, not from you. It helps us out, and we really appreciate it. So if you do that right now and send me a comment that you did it, I will give you my notes of tonight.
Wow.
Are you going to laminate them for
Signed
him?
by
Wow.
our special guest.
There you go.
All right.
Is
Wow.
it bad
like
that
that.
I want them to make a Jamil like action figure and then go to AfterBuzz?
Well,
and
he's
go to
a
Amazon and
comic
buy
book
it,
character
and
already.
Then,
I saw
no,
that.
I know in
Do it.
Tron, and
Yeah.
then go to Comic-Con next year and
Do
try
it.
to
There you
like
go.
make a killing.
Yeah.
Make
That's
killing.
what I'm
You're
trying to do.
a comic book character?
I don't know. Am I?
Yeah, I saw that. I read that.
Oh,
it was,
I didn't know that.
You were a comic book character
I
in the
didn't-
Dark Comics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
News.
Wow.
go.
The
See?
exclusive,
AfterBuzz
see?
exclusive.
There you
I know.
go.
TV exclusive.
We got him. We got him. Okay, let's talk about Ben and the brother story. So Ben, again, confusing us all over the place. He's on the side of the second mass. He's on the side of the skitters. It's frustrating and keeping us on edge. What do you think about that, Derrial?
I mean, you're going off of what you're saying. Yes, they kept me on edge the entire time,
Yep.
and it's like 1 minute I want them to just get along completely, but I understand the struggle and just the way that Hal is kind of treating his brother right now. I mean, I feel like he doesn't really trust his brother, and it's just. I don't even have the words right now because I just get so frustrated with their relationship. You know, I just want them to get along, but I understand where they're going. I mean, I understand that, you know, Hal, it feels like Ben's part alien. He doesn't know where his commitment really is, but he also know that he loves his brother. So I just feel the inner struggle for Hal as he's trying to figure it all out.
Right, and so the conflict for today's episode came out of Hal and Maggie going on a tour and
Yeah.
finding the dead bodies and finding the one live body. Oh my God, it's Karen.
Yeah.
So bringing her back, she happens to be barely alive, and they start nursing her back to health. Ben instantly says, "Don't let her in here. Get her out."
Yeah.
And kind of taking the Pope side of how of not trusting anybody for anything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of working well, right? I mean, she's in there, she's getting well. We're kind of being a little complacent, and then it
And
happens.
then
But
the
that's
twist
exactly,
happens.
but that's exactly why, though. It's like the complacency actually gets on my nerves. See, I'm the exact opposite. I don't want them to get along. Like, I think that the tension is necessary because tension was there before.
Between the
number one.
brothers, you mean, yeah?
Between the
Okay.
brothers. The tension was there before as brothers, intellect and athlete,
Right.
But more importantly, I think that they are getting lax. Come on now. Not only was she harnessed, but she was the one who was actually on the ship. So that means she's on a completely different level. Are they really just going to let her harness off and we're going to think that nothing's going on?
Right.
As well as the fact that I think Ben is squarely on the side of the second mass, even when they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going off of emotion, and he's the only one capable of making decisions because he has more knowledge than everybody else.
Well, but Tom was being very careful with her. He was being polite and nice to her, but he was not really giving her an inch. She
I'm
was
like,
locked
lock her
up.
down. She wasn't actually locked down. Like, I mean, physically lock her down.
But see, that's back to my point of what I was saying. I want them to kind of get along, because I feel like Ben is underutilized because he has so much knowledge and so much power, you know, and I feel like they're caught up in not really trusting him or fully committing to him. I just want them all to kind of be in one sync, especially as they're moving to Charleston, and just, you know, use all of that to fight the Skitters. I mean, I feel like he's just so underutilized.
Right. He's sort of the Rosetta Stone of the second mass. I mean, he could really be the entree into really knowing what's going on.
Oh, for sure.
But
I think they're doing a really good job in portraying Ben, because you have to remember, every time he exposes himself that I know this isn't right because I'm still connected, he's telling them I'm still connected.
Right. He's being very transparent about it.
Yes, and so it's got to be very difficult for Ben, you know, as that character that he is, to have to continually say, I'm different, and I'm going to show I'm different again, but trust me, it really is for the benefit of second mass. It's lost a little bit because Pope hasn't been there. Pope is back, and now Ben is gone. But oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But
spoiler alert.
Oh wow, the sound effects.
But no, I thought they're doing a pretty good line on how they're playing Ben, and when Ben and Karen were talking, that was just fascinating.
Yeah,
I did not see that coming. That's what I wanted to talk about next. Yeah,
that dialogue and what wasn't being said was so good. It was really, really fun. Good energy between those two.
It was.
Yeah. It was a very convincing relationship. And interesting that she's talking about, again, the name of the episode is Homecoming. So talking about, you know, the things about home that she remembered and things that she loved. And him, you know, being a little resistant, but then,
he changed. Yeah.
But I think actually it's funny. I was buying it up until the way that she said she didn't miss being harnessed. She's been harnessed now for about the same time that Ben was harnessed. We know Ben misses the harness, and the only way he's able to kind of squash that emotion is by filling it with hate. She was a little bit too flighty.
See, I didn't buy her from the beginning.
Yeah.
I was with the Maggie character. I didn't trust her the minute she walked in. I was waiting for her to show her true colors the entire time.
Right, because even the way that she was like, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, can I have some more bread? And then she goes in this whole monologue like, it was that 10 times worse, and then goes, oh, can I have some more food?
Yeah, she was giving too much information.
Yeah, she was overselling.
Plus, she just looks like an angel, and you gotta not trust those people, Red.
The thing is, when you see Ben at the end, he takes her away from them, you know? So I do feel like his loyalty is with the second mass. So even if he has to leave, he'll take Karen with him for the safety of the group.
Yeah, I'm curious about...
That's a big sacrifice for him to make. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
No, I'm curious about on set. Is the actor that plays Ben? I forget his name. Connor.
Or no, that's Connor.
Yeah, Connor. Maxim is the younger one.
Is he treated a little differently on set? Like, you know, just try to keep that sort of energy.
Not. I mean, I didn't really work with him a lot, so we weren't on set together that much. I'm more with Lourdes and Weaver.
Right.
And so I didn't see that. But maybe, you know, yeah. But I wasn't privy to any of that.
So then the scene that comes later where the three are on the roof. There's Karen, Ben, and Hal. Yeah. My first thought was, there is no way Hal is going to shoot either one of these people. Yeah. There's just no way that's going to happen. So it was a losing proposition from the beginning of that scene. Yeah. Don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to shoot him?
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with you. It was intense.
But I think, though, that the funny thing is... No, actually, go ahead.
No.
I cut people off all the time.
No,
I'm going to be on my best behavior today.
No,
go ahead, Derrial.
No, I was just going to say I agree with what she's saying.
We get one day of you on your best behavior.
Yeah. See what happens when we have particular guests.
I know.
Had I known, I would have gotten champagne.
Brandon, can you come back next week?
Okay. No. What I was saying is I agree with what Tamara was saying, is that I never thought that Hal was actually going to shoot them, but he, you know, the build up for that was pretty serious. You know, I wondered what was going on in his mind at that moment, because here he has Karen, who he had all these emotions for prior to, and then this is his brother who he loves but he doesn't fully trust, but he sees them together and everything looks shady at that very moment. So it's like an inner struggle. Like, what do you do at that point? You know, and
yeah, the challenge with this show is they've got a lot of good storylines. I think they could have invested a lot more time in the Hal and Ben and who do you trust, and you know, all of that. Because I agree with you. I think it's fascinating, that dynamic, and you know, they're both men, and in this crazy world that they're in, they didn't have the time for it. You know, and you feel just a little bit, because I just wanted to know more from Hal's point of view of like, you know, this is so unfair. This is.
I agree with you, but I think they do a really great job in this small time that they have, because I think that the whole issue is Hal has to be a leader, but he's still a boy. And I think that's the conflict that's going on. And so when he literally pulls the gun, of course he's not going to shoot them. But the leader in him has to go through the motions and has to put on the bravado, because he almost doesn't know any better. So he actually hasn't thought about the next step. And that's often what you do in military, right? Like you have to stand your ground. Like even if you know you're going to die, you can't think that next step, because then you actually might literally turn around and run away.
Right.
And so I think that the whole dynamic, and that's I think why Maggie is great, because I think she's the voice of reason, because here you're going to side with Karen. Like are you kidding me? Like your brother has actually physically been here, and I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but Karen was just some girl that you met during the resistance and you liked her, versus like your actual brother that you were raised with. But I think that also then just shows a dynamic of brotherhood and what they're going through, that there's actual real life things that they're dealing with that are stupid, that Tom mentioned earlier.
That was the one thing that was kind of bothering me about it, was Hal became a little too, I don't want to say stupid, but a little too obtuse about the whole thing. You know, when Ben is saying, "Look, you got to trust me here. I know this isn't right."
Right.
You know, to your point, so why are they not all going, "Stop, put her in the barn"? You know, we've got a really good GPS right here.
Yeah.
So
because that's also, but that's Hal giving more power away to Ben though, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to admit that Ben, right? Like, nah, I got this. I can handle this. You know, and Ben's starting to call the shots, starting to direct people, saying, "No, I know better than all of you," and Hal's fighting it. You know, it's great.
Yeah, and even once again, I love how they have had Ben's character just change so much from like the first season to where he is now.
He was a little
He was a boy. He's a man. Like I don't even see a boy anymore.
No,
He's
not
a
at
man.
all.
He's a young adult.
No,
you know? But I mean, I guess going through that experience, you would become something.
I hope you never find out.
I hope I never find out. Although I once again I have to go back. Oh, go ahead.
I think glowing spikes would work well with this shirt.
Yeah, the purple shirt. Yeah. Oh, your blue shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
no, it works
exactly.
good with your shirt too.
Well, I heard that they were doing harnessing at Comic-Con this year, and I'm upset that I wasn't there because I wanted to be harnessed.
Awesome.
You know, Falling Skies actually has T-shirts that have a harness on the back.
It's
like printed on the back. Yeah, it's very cool looking. I was looking at them. I have a question for you guys. What about Ben saying to Karen, his persuasive speech to her was, "We're not safe here. I know a place where we can go." Where you made some comment. What do you think that is, Steve?
I think he's leading them right into the resistance, which is the whole reason Karen was put there. Ben, here's what I think. It's a little bit of a prediction. I'm sorry, but
that's okay.
I know somewhere we can go, and I bet, because that's why I asked what happened to that skitter. I think he's going to walk her right into the middle of the rebellion, and she's going to be like, "Here we are, guys. Just drop the bomb right here."
Wait, so he's leading her, is what you think?
Yeah, because I completely agree with Steve, right?
Yeah.
Because basically the whole reason I think that Ben is still good is Ben basically believes that there are good skitters who are going to fight against the overlords, right?
Yes.
So basically that's who he's communicating with, the Red Eye.
Right.
So he basically thinks that Karen is good. So he thinks that Karen is on his side, and basically he's like, "Okay, come join us with the skitter resistance," and he's going to lead her directly there, just like you said.
As a
she's
place
the
that they
GPS,
can be safe.
and then they can wipe them all out.
And then they're all going to live happily ever after?
Exactly.
Okay.
In Skitterland.
Right after that big bomb hits. No, because that was, yeah, as soon as I realized that she was a plant, I'm going, "Oh, there's only one reason they're planting her." Because, you know, they want the resistance. They want the Skitter rebellion, I think, more than they want Second Mass.
Yeah, and I think it's funny though, because I think, and we've talked about this a lot, it's the way in which they communicate with one another, right? And I think it's really important, because I think that the only way that information is disseminated is by one person talking to someone else. Right?
Right.
And one of the absolutely amazing things that I love about AfterBuzz TV is that not only can you watch us, you know, on YouTube, you also can watch us on iTunes. And if you go to iTunes, you can just click in AfterBuzz TV, and you can click in or type in your favorite show. Hopefully it's Falling Skies, or else you're a silly Billy. But no, seriously, it should be Falling Skies. And you can watch us, you can rate us, you can send us comments. And funny enough, we really read the comments. We jump on and we read the comments, because we want to know what you're saying. We want to know what you're thinking. And half the time what we're talking about are things that you as resistance fighters have been talking about. So again, Go on iTunes, watch us, watch the other AfterBuzz shows, rate us, comment, and more importantly, tell a friend. Because again, if you tell a friend who tells a friend and tells a friend, then there'll be a season 4, 5, 6, 7, and then hopefully my Jamil toy will be worth a lot of money.
You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this toy made.
Get this toy made.
This is gonna happen. I have a feeling this is
I'm
gonna
trying to
happen.
retire.
You need to start negotiating this deal right now.
Right?
Exactly.
Jordan, make it happen.
Exactly. So again, just go on iTunes, rate, comment, watch our shows. It's free. So hello, free.
And
TV.
we really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Also, there's the new podcast app on iTunes.
Oh my God, I did not know about that.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's a whole app that you can use on iPads and iPhones that goes just to podcasts. So that makes it even easier. It's like one less step. You don't have to have a computer. You can use mobile devices. So download the app as well. Okay, let's talk about Blonde versus Blonde.
Oh, my favorite part of tonight's show.
Maggie, played by Sarah, who was here with us last week, who we're all in love with.
Our reigning badass chick.
I know, 2 guns, badass.
Our reigning
tick,
badass
tick,
chick.
Boom.
We labored her last week.
So yeah, she walks in and she just makes the room her own. She is not convinced for a second.
Not once.
Not at all. She
And
wasn't buying that.
and showed her her disdain.
She called it from the beginning. As I mentioned before, I was with her on that one. I never trusted Karen, but Maggie went in there with the guns blazing. It's like let's have this little conversation really quick. We're gonna go woman to woman. Girl talk. And when the girl fight started, I literally was jumping out of my chair watching that scene. It was
a pretty quick fight.
It was it was also a cheating fight.
When Karen jumped on the roof. It was
that's an
over.
unfair advantage.
Yeah, when she started clinging from the ceiling.
That's a little bit of an unfair advantage.
I think she lost there.
I agree.
That's a cool trick to have.
Yeah.
But you know what? It kind of went back to the Hal on the roof. When she pulled a gun, I was thinking, you gonna shoot her?
Right.
How are you gonna explain that? You know, you shot the girlfriend of the guy that you know what I mean? It's kind of like.
Well, you know, you got to get rid of the competition.
Exactly.
No, but the funny
I didn't know it was loaded.
But you know what? But I think Maggie, actually, of all characters, is willing to sacrifice herself for the better of the second match. So she actually, I think, would kill her and then allow them to put her in restraints or jail or whatever they have to do. Because I think
the only person that would have killed her quicker is Pope.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have even talked.
Yeah, it just would have been a shot. Yeah, completely.
And he would have had something cute to say.
Wasn't that probably a great scene for the two of them? I mean, they must have loved doing it. You get fighting, you get superpowers, you get guns.
Karen gets to have that inner, strength, energy of like, I know this and I know how it's going to end. That's such a great place to work from when you already have all the cards. And Maggie gets to be the tough chick. And seriously, how can you not look cool with 2 guns?
Yeah.
And then she cocks him.
And then she cocks him.
Yeah.
And the funny, what I liked about the scene too, I never felt that jealousy played a part in Maggie's decision against Karen at all.
No.
I felt like it was completely her just strategy on figuring out just trying to keep what was going on, like figure out what was really happening between the second mass and Karen's role of coming in, if she was still part alien, if she was going to deceive everybody. I never took it as a point of Maggie being, it's all about Hal and being jealous, because it rekindled some feelings from Hal about Karen.
The only thing that for me, and I'm kind of working it on my head, how did she know so much?
Who's
Who,
that?
Karen
Maggie or
no?
Maggie?
Maggie.
No. How did Karen know so much about Maggie? She knew things about Maggie that, like, from a time period, who's her spy? Right? Because she knew about when she was with Pope and the gang. She knew about her feelings. Like, I know that they can hear, but it seems like they can hear conversations. This makes me think that they can literally get inside your head. And in the same way that then later on, when he said it's almost like she's reaching her hand in my head.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, she only showed her card to us, but that's to me way worse than any other skill set.
Yeah.
But that ability to mind read.
I don't want people reading my mind.
Me either.
As I look down at the floor.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for me.
What was the reaching your hand into? When did that happen? Just to refresh.
It was Pope. Yeah, Pope made that comment. So that's how I took it, is that Karen has this ability to possibly read minds, or just her intuition is far more advanced than what we really know. So that's how I took it after Pope made that statement. So
I just want to say really quick that Pope is back.
Yeah.
Pope is back in the house.
Yeah,
Pope is
we're
back.
a little bit worried about Ben becoming a serial killer because Pope's his favorite character. But I mean,
I love Pope.
he brings a lot of excitement into
does.
the show. He's a really compelling character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, when he's not there, it's you're on for the ride and everything. But when he shows up,
We're until he gets there, we're waiting for him.
Yeah,
And then when he
exactly.
shows up,
Exactly.
it's always interesting with Pope.
It is. I have one quick question, not to go back to
Yeah.
the blonde versus blonde, but what about the scene of Karen taking Maggie and throwing her to the ground and then throwing herself to the ground to make it seem that Maggie was the
Yes.
person who did that?
Yes.
What did you guys feel about that?
It really pissed me off.
Dames,
Because
you can't
it's
trust
just well, she was clearly setting the stage for
Right.
what was going to happen afterwards,
Mhm.
and she did a really good job of it. And we didn't see Maggie become conscious, did we? Before the end of the episode?
No, she was just doing more moaning, I think.
Yeah. So there's going to be some trouble coming after
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and she's going to have to be explaining things.
Last week when she was talking about her character, and
Sarah.
how she sees Hal,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm watching her in a different light. It's like going, okay, no, that makes sense, and it's just kind of fascinating to have that insight.
Repeat what it is you're thinking about.
Oh,
her character.
that because we're asking, so why not the left? She goes, no, because she knows that Hal needs to be a leader, and she doesn't want to distract
Right.
from that at all. And so when they had their scene earlier, it's kind of like, I know why.
Yeah,
I know why she's
I know.
doing that.
Plus, you feel like we're special good friends with her.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
'cause we've
yeah.
talked
Special
about
good
her.
friends.
No, but
We
no,
love
but I
Sarah.
think
And we're
don't-
gonna feel
there's
that same
no-
way about you.
There's
that's
no
for sure.
action. There's no action figure on her yet, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that
Oh.
Maybe that can be part of the deal.
But no, but
They should
what
make one.
Steve says makes sense, because also that's, I think, specifically why she said, she goes, the Hal I know wouldn't have made a decision based on the fact that she used to be his girlfriend.
Right.
But I think that also shows why Karen is very astute, because she switched allegiances very quickly.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I can't get to Hal. Hal now has literally been removed from me.
Yeah.
I have to go after who? Ben. So what do? I time the fact that we're both different. They're never going to accept you. It's us, us, us. We have to be together. We know things that they don't know,
Right.
and that you no longer have to feel like an outsider.
Mhm.
And so ironically, even though she said she's already started manipulating you, that's when you can see that Ben has actually started to become complacent.
Mhm.
And so therefore he was able to be manipulated, because he didn't approach her. He approached her as an enemy, but then allowed her to get in because he wants to feel some semblance of humanity. And if he had stuck with his hate, I don't think he would have connected with her.
I agree.
Yep. Very true. Very true. Let's move on to our special guest, shall
Hey, we have a special guest.
All right.
I think we should. Let's talk about you. Okay. One of the things I'm wondering is, you're Canadian.
Yeah.
You're from
Vancouver,
Vancouver,
right?
right?
Vancouver,
Where
yeah.
you guys are shooting right
Yeah,
now, or
yeah.
have been shooting.
Yeah.
How is it shooting in your hometown?
It was nice.
Yeah?
it was nice. It happened real quick. I was down here, and then I got the part, and then they were like, I think I got the part on a Thursday.
What was that process like for you? Did
You
you,
know, I
have to audition, or did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did-
I put the audition on tape
Okay.
from here, and I
Yep.
sent it up, and I didn't hear it for like 3 weeks, and then I think I got the call on a Thursday, and they're like, you need to be in Vancouver on Monday,
Shucks.
Wow.
and you're gonna be there for at least 4 or 5 months. So I packed up my car and I drove up the next day. It was actually my birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, the Friday. Was
That's a
my
nice
birthday.
That's a
birthday
really
present.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
birthday gift.
So
I'll take
I
that.
packed my car that night and hauled ass on the Friday morning. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was great. It was really nice to be back home again.
What was that drive like? I mean, were
You
you
know,
like
I've done
going,
it-
I can't believe I'm
I've
doing
done it
this,
so
or-
many times.
No,
yeah,
no,
but
but
with the
mentally.
knowledge that you
Oh,
had
it was
at this
fantastic.
point. Yeah.
Fantastic. I spent my
King of the world going
birthday
home.
night in the Red Lobster in Medford,
Not
Oregon.
Medford. Wow, Red
I
Lobster.
love Medford. We
But
love
like,
Medford.
you know
We've been there.
Medford,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like the almost like the exact like equidistant between LA and Vancouver.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
always stop there
Yep.
for my overnight.
Yes.
So that's like the fanciest place I could
I was
find.
like,
in
you had me at
Medford.
Red Lobster. I was
Right?
like, bring back some memories.
Yeah, no, it was great. It
You're
was
not doing
great.
Red Lobster now, though.
Right.
Maybe in Medford again.
Yeah, if it's a tradition.
Yeah, yeah.
And I read that your character was actually called a different name previously. It was like Sunil.
Sunil, I
Sunil?
think. Yeah, yeah.
What was the name change? Like, why did they?
I don't know.
change it to-
I don't know.
okay.
They didn't change. I mean, they didn't change it till like after the first read through. So
Okay.
I don't know really what went behind that. I wasn't really a part of that.
So you
decision.
sent up an audition tape, and then 3 weeks later they go, "Yeah, come on up." Did you, like, know what exactly you're going in for? Did you like?
No, not really. I mean, you put stuff on tape all the time, and then you forget about it. And, weeks go by, and it's like So no, but I knew that I'd be in a few episodes at least this season. That's why they had me drive up instead of just flying up back and forth.
Oh yeah.
I knew I was going to be there for a while. But yeah, that's it. And then I watched the show because I hadn't watched the show prior. And it was funny. I actually had met Drew Roy maybe about a month before getting that part.
Oh, nice.
And he was telling me about the show that he's on, and it shoots in Vancouver. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm from Vancouver. And it's Falling Skies. I was like, oh, I'll have to check it out. And then I got it. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to be on your show. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
What a great thing.
Yeah.
They're starting a love interest, a love story with you, with Lourdes.
With Lourdes.
Now, we often talk about Graham Yost, and, he does Justified. And the thing is, if you like somebody, they're on the chopping block.
Right.
He likes to kill beloved characters.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does. So when you're seeing this, you're going, oh, they're bringing my story up. Get to the end. I'm still alive.
Survive this episode?
Right.
You get a little bit nervous when they start going, hey, you know what? Let's make people like this guy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, especially in a show like this where, like, you know, it's a crazy world, and anybody can go at any time.
Now, I have a... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know who was talking.
I think it was me.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. You said it, and then you looked around.
I know I did.
I'm
the troublemaker. But I have a kind of like a mechanical acting question. But in that scene when you were with Lourdes, when you put the pumps on, and everyone laughed, and right as the camera was panning out, you looked at Lourdes. Was that direction, or was that you? Because it was just a tender moment that, like, even though you had fixed it, you still kind of were like, oh, that's my girl.
Well, that's my baby in the corner, So yeah, you throw a look and you try to, because that's what happens in real life, even if you're in a work environment or even if you're trying to hide a romance in an environment, you still, you still connect with them, when you can.
But I'm curious though. Was that a directorial thing or
No, it just kind of happened.
Oh,
I don't really remember even. I didn't really see it in the episode, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I'm glad you caught it.
I totally did for that reason, though. Like, the girl, the romantic in me, there was a connection. It was just so effortless. It's like he really was like, hey, like, what's up? Like, we can't talk, but like,
what's up? Yeah, trying to, and like, when you're in, a stressful situation like we all are in the second mass. I mean, that kind of thing makes you feel good about, or better at least about your situation. So
how much of Jamil is like your real life?
I can't fix anything.
I was gonna ask her, are you a mechanic, engineer background anywhere?
Nah. You do have a science background.
I do.
Am I do. Tell on you?
I do. Okay. Yeah, I do. But I can't fix a damn thing. No.
Well, you play it well.
Thank you.
Another AfterBuzz exclusive.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Now, can you tell us if you are back for season 3?
I can't tell you that.
You cannot tell us.
No.
Dang it.
I don't know anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
We do know that the show's back.
Yeah, I know.
But we do also know that you have a new show
I do have a new show.
On USA, Graceland. Tell us about that.
It's fantastic. It's about 5 undercover federal agents from different agencies. We got FBI, Homeland Security, and CIA. And we all live in this mansion on Venice Beach. We're all undercover.
It's a drama.
Yeah, it's a drama, and this new hotshot kid from Quantico gets shipped out to our house, and we don't know why, because he was meant to be in the FBI in Virginia, and the day after he graduates, they're like, no, you're going out to Graceland in LA, and he's like, well, why? I don't want to go there. I want to go to DC. So he gets this command from way, way up top to come to our house, and it turns out that he's sent there to investigate the house. But he doesn't really know that, and we don't know that. So it deals with sort of, the lines between when you're undercover. The stuff that you learn in school doesn't always apply in the field. And where is that line? And, and how that line gets blurry between what's legal and what you got to do to get the job done. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And so, what is the character you're playing on?
I play Dale Jakes. I'm Homeland Security, and so we all have undercovers on the show. So it's great as an actor too, because you get to play 2 different roles.
Yeah.
And I get to play Dale, and I get to play whatever undercover thing I'm working on. So it's great. Yeah, it's great.
And have you started shooting that?
No, we just got picked up. We shot the pilot in March, and we just got picked up like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So how the schedule's going to work? That's obviously shooting in L.A.
I think it might be shooting in Miami, actually.
Oh, in Miami?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're going to get some frequent flyer miles.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I know it'll depend, on how busy I am with Graceland, and I think we start shooting in October or November or something like that. So no, it's exciting.
It'll begin airing in January, or it's going to be the following fall. So yeah, I would think January.
And what did it get a 13 episode pickup?
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you've played such a variety of different parts. The Red Ranger,
Power
Ranger,
yes.
the Red Power Ranger.
Yes.
You've also played on Harper's Island, which I loved. I watched it not only on CBS, I also watched it on the Chiller channel, by the way.
Thank you.
And also The Killing.
Yeah.
And now on Falling Skies. What's your favorite part to play? Like, what style of character do you like to play?
I really enjoyed The Killing. Just because I think that character was like the furthest from me, and I'm so grateful that they kind of took a chance on me with that role, because the kind of nerdy high school teacher, I don't think I was a shoo-in, but I got to really stretch myself, and it was such a great show, and the writing was so good, and there was such an emotional connection for me with Rosie. So I really enjoyed doing that show. But I mean, they're all great in their different ways, you know. Falling Skies, this is like the first kind of real action sci-fi show that I've done, which was really cool.
And is that part of what you love about the show, is that you're getting to do the explosions and the fights
and
and the guns and all that
and
stuff?
there's different stakes, like you could die at any time. People are dying all the time, and it's as an actor, it's completely different. So it was really great as well.
And you played soccer in college, right? So,
I did, yep.
So being an athlete, has that helped you with some of the stunts and things you have to do on the show?
I think so. Absolutely. And they'll let you sometimes they'll give you more responsibility if they know that. They'll let you do a little extra something, or they'll let you tumble or hurt yourself a little more.
So Pele or Beckham? Pele or Beckham?
Is that a joke, or?
No, I'm really asking. I just need to figure
Pele,
you out.
Pele,
Okay, just
Pele.
making sure. Just making sure.
Good question.
But he's like, "Are you serious?
He's like, wait a minute.
Are you serious?"
Will we see you fighting more in the seasons to come, with the skitters or the mechs?
You know what? Because in this season, Jamil doesn't pick up a gun at all. He's just always fixing the guns and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what they have in store.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the scenes where there are skitters that are CG? Have you had any of those scenes where you had to do?
No,
you haven't.
No, I didn't work with any mechs or any skitters.
None of that.
No, I was just making love and fixing shit.
Yay!
That's what Jamil does.
It's a good
That's
job.
a-
It's
that's
a
a nice-
good gig if you can get.
Yeah, you can say
that. You know what?
We
That's
can't,
a really
but you
good.
can.
You can.
Okay.
And Steve.
That's a really good business
I do.
card.
Right? Right?
Right.
I do.
Jamil,
I make
making
love and fix shit.
Hey,
What's
we've
up?
got this debate going on. You can't answer it without getting in trouble, I'm sure. But the debate over here is we don't think the Continental Congress is everything they say it is.
Okay.
That we think there's trouble brewing in North Carolina. Is that where they're
Yes.
headed?
Charleston.
Charleston.
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
South Carolina. If you were just a viewer, would you have an opinion on this, or can you absolutely go, nope, I'm not saying
This
a
is
word?
going to get me in trouble.
All right,
Yeah.
then don't.
I'm like,
We'll
I
talk
like
about the
him.
action
Don't
figure.
even
Say it.
Yeah.
We want to see you back on Falling Skies. Don't answer
Yeah.
that question.
Halfway through the question, I go,
Yeah, he can't answer
You
this.
can't answer that. Well, just shut up.
Yeah.
You gotta ask.
Yeah, no,
Gotta
you
ask.
do. You do.
Yeah.
So, any other things that you want us to know about you, or things that are going on? Any new projects besides the ones we've already talked about?
No, just Graceland coming up, and I'm getting ready to, probably move to Miami for a little while, which is great. I'm excited about that.
Let's hope they don't make you drive this time, because that's a long.
You know what? I will. I love driving.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I love road trips. Love it, love it, love
you
it.
just
So
plot out all the Red Lobsters and just
yeah.
bam, 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 bam.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine what your car would smell like?
Oh.
In 2 days?
I know.
Red Lobster crap.
Can I get
everywhere.
this to go? And like, yeah, no.
Oh,
no.
look, it's battered.
Yeah, no. But I think I will drive out there and just kind of hit all the states in between. And I'm a big foodie. So, I like to go on like, best thing I ever ate and like eat at those places on the way and stuff. So I think I'm gonna make a road trip out of it.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy
cook
Miami.
as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's like your go-to dish?
Oh, I have so many. Yeah, I have so many.
You're from Trinidad originally,
my mom
right?
is and my dad's from Grenada.
So that means a lot of good food.
A lot of good food, a lot of curry goats and pigtail.
Oh, yeah, you're talking my language right now.
Yeah, good stuff.
Now,
good
have you
stuff.
gone back there?
Yeah, I was just in Grenada in April.
And what's it like with your success?
It's cool, it's cool. And they get some of the shows that I've been on. So people recognize you in the street, cool. and then they like it when they find out there's like a local connection there, and it's really nice.
Do they ask you to fix stuff?
No, yeah,
or blow something up.
Make love.
Or blow something up.
Well, that's lucky.
I can do half of it.
You should stop.
My car's too loud. Can you fix my car? It's too loud.
No, but we can get in the back seat.
I'm not
right. This is
stand out of this one.
Yeah.
This is when I get shy. I'm not going
I
there.
will remove myself from this.
Nothing good can come out of this.
We are so happy you've been here with us. I think we need to move on into predictions now.
Yep.
Would you like to make any predictions?
No.
I think you should.
Dang, I thought we were going to
Hey, you can make a prediction on Graceland.
That's true.
Because
yeah.
that hasn't even really started.
No.
Hey, is there a TSA guy that like lives at the house? Just frisks
boring
everybody?
with that. They'll play a TSA guy is what'll happen.
No, I just figure the guy that keeps coming in like frisking you all the time. Like, dude. Sorry.
I mean, I think it's gonna do. I hope it's gonna do really well. Jeff Easton it's his show. So this is the second one on USA, and I saw the pilot a couple days ago, and it looked really, really great. So
awesome.
It's very exciting, and there will be guns and violence and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
So obviously our type of shows.
Yeah, no aliens, but everything else.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll take the guns and the manhandling people. I like it.
And beach,
like it.
so a lot of surfing and
babes. Again, business card.
Yeah, we'll be knocking at your door like, hey, remember us from AfterBuzz?
And don't forget about the action figure.
Exactly.
Okay, you guys, predictions for Falling Skies.
Well, I already gave mine up. I think that he's leading Karen. He's leading Karen unwittingly into the middle of the Skidder Rebellion, and that was her whole purpose. That's mine.
And they're all going to live happily ever after once they get there. Okay, great.
Yep.
I'm going to go a little left here. I'm going to say that Jamil and Pope are going to have some major conflict before this season's over.
Oh.
That's what I'm going to say.
All right. I won't give anything
I'm looking at your face. See if you can give it away inadvertently.
Nope.
You miss?
Oh, this is a hard one for me. I think Steve is spot on. But I actually think that there still has to be a divide within the second mass. We still haven't had a mutiny. I can't figure out what the catalyst for that is going to be, but that still has to happen. So I haven't figured it out yet, but that has to happen.
It could possibly have to do with the joining of the Skidder Rebellion versus the going to South Carolina thing.
There we go.
That could be part of it.
And this isn't a prediction, but it's just it irks me. Why have they not sent a scout to Charleston?
Yeah, we had that. Remember we talked about
yes.
that too.
So
we
that's
still
kind of
still
we
want
still haven't
that.
seen that.
Yeah.
I have nothing more.
Can you answer
to
that
say
question
than you
for
guys
us?
Thank you so much for being with us. Can you give us your Twitter handle so we can get you some followers?
Yeah, at Brando J, BrandoJay.
And you, Derrial?
You can follow me at Derrial Christon, DerrialChriston.
Steve?
Bottomley Steven?
Yes, that's
awesome. Bottomley Steven at Twitter.com.
On Twitter.
And I'm at Sofia Stanley, and Sofia with an F for fighter.
Yay.
Yay. And you can find me at Tamara Berg on Twitter. Also, my website is tamaracentral.com. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
It was
you
a great
very much.
pleasure. We wish you could have given us some more scoop, but we'll take what we got. It was fabulous. And great good luck to you with everything else that comes.
Thank you.
We'll be watching.
And so we will see you all next week for Falling Skies.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.